How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about SNDL, Sundial growers. I know it's been a minute since I've given you guys an update. I've been getting the messages, and yes, if you have been following the strategy, keep in mind this is not financial advice, playing off of the fluctuations. It was in the 68-cent range, a 69-cent range, ended up seeing a high of 79 cents. That's a 10-cent move right there. You could have been taking some profits. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. So before we get started, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to see support. We want to know resistance. And where are some potential moves we could see, especially if SNDL continues to gather up some momentum. And then afterwards, we'll be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. Does it continue to have short squeeze potential? Because if it does, then we could see some moves in price action, and it's part of the reasons why we cover it on this channel. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution, where institutions loading up on shares, we're going to be finding out. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some key details. So let's get to it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for SNDL Sundial growers. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at 77 cents, being up 4.46%. On the low, it tested 73 cents, and then on the high, testing 79 cents. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 109.339 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 81.552 million shares. So we had above average volume on the day, a lot of buying, so we ended up having a green day. The chart we're using is a 1-year daily chart. When we take a look at the RSI down below, it is right around 49.70. So we are making a move. It's good to see. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here, we are below the 200-day, the 100-day. But one thing that I love to see, yes, we are sitting right on the 21-day EMA, and that's what we want to look forward to here. We've seen SNDL was getting beaten up quite a bit. And I was telling you guys, you could play off of these fluctuations, especially when it pulled back here not too long ago. You could see from the day of August the 20th, it got to the 68-cent range, and then it went to 79 cents on the day. So right there, that's a good gain if you take a look at it percentage-wise, and I've been giving you guys this strategy for a very long time to play off of these fluctuations. So what you want to see as far as SNDL continuing to remain bullish, the 73-cent area, you're going to want to see that area of support actually hold up. If you could do a great job holding this up, and then of course, I'm going to be looking forward to actually seeing that move go to 80 cents. But do keep in mind, 80 cents is a psychological area. There's going to be a lot of profit taking here, a lot of selling pressure, but with volume, we can actually end up getting above that and start seeing some moves to the upside, so where we can easily get to here where we get to around 80.68 and then make that move to going to 81. It has been a struggle for SNDL, but there's no doubt in my mind we should be able to see a spike so we can start seeing a move even going into the mid 80s and then the 90s and so forth. But we got to continue to be patient and take profits when those opportunities arise, especially if you're able to get down here when you could have built out your position even further in that high 60-cent range. So let's see what happens going in for the rest of the weekend as well as tomorrow. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and the short interest information for SNDL. Scrolling down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So again, we're going to take a look at recent positions. So let's take a look as far as for this week, which we have the 30th. So we have the FOMO ETF that went in with just over 63,000 shares, and we also have Trend Aggregation Aggressive Growth ETF that went in with just over 83,000. So that's definitely great to see. And as we scroll back even further, yes, we do have institutions who open up new positions, and they've been pretty sizable. And these ones we've also covered as well, especially Hudson Bay Capital going with 321,000, just over that. And also Centtiva Capital going in with just over 238,000. Now, when we take a look at the short interest information, scrolling down on the page, short shares availability is at 10 million, updated 28 minutes ago. And for the short ball fee rate, it is at 1.47. Taking a look now at the history history of the short volume ratio, we could see for the close of the 26th, it was at 28.74. The close for the 27th was at 27.50. And for the close for the 30th, which was yesterday, was at 39.87. So what we do know for a fact, SNDL does continue to have short squeeze potential, but as the price goes up, shorts are going to be heavily vested inside of this play. So just know it comes with a lot of volatility, and if you're only in this for the short term, do not hesitate to protect your profits. I want to make sure I really emphasize this because I've outlined a strategy for you guys. All you got to do is go out there, play the game, and you will see success with it. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for SNDL. So we can see here on the inflow, it was at 26.56, and then on the outflow, it was at 25.05. So we ended up having an inflow day. We had 0 on the large for both. On the medium, on the inflow side, it was 17.93, and then on the small, it was 8.63. It's in the millions. Now, when we take a look at the outflow side on the medium, it was 16.51, and then on the small, it was 8.54. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, we continue to have zeros down the board. I know when we do these SNDL videos, taking a look at the order flow, we continue to see zeros. So institutions are not going in with large scale orders whatsoever. So I want to make sure understanding that and being aware of that, they can be taking positions when it comes to small and as well as medium sized orders. So that's one thing to take into consideration. But of course, this has been no shock to us, no surprise that it continues to be zeros, especially since we haven't been getting any big time updates inside of the cannabis industry for quite some time. But anyways, let's jump into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for SNDL Sundial growers, I definitely like the direction that it's going in. As far as for the game plan, I've been talking about this in so many different SNDL videos. You want to take advantage of these fluctuations if you're looking to make some quick short-term profits. When it pulled back into the 60-cent range, and I'm talking about 68, 69, many of you were sending me messages, yo, Dre, is this a time where I should go in? Or, hey, man, I got a position in here. Should I start averaging down? Again, all of these questions could be answered just by taking a look at the strategy. If you were able to get in when it was in the high 60s, you could have easily sold today when it got to 79 cents. Or even if you were in there at the low 70s and it made that move to 79 cents, you're still making a pretty good percentage gain. And I know many of you are still holding out because you're looking forward to seeing a bigger spike, especially going to that $1 level or maybe somewhere in that 90-cent range or even the mid 80s. So make sure that you have a strategy that is right for you. See it through. Be patient. Do your homework. Do your due diligence. SNDL does this consistent type of movement, and we can see this clearly, especially when we're taking a look at the charts. So there's no reason why you should be panicking. I do understand many of you, when you came across my channel, you ended up getting to SNDL at a much higher cost average, well above over $1. And one of the strategies that you can use, but this is not financial advice, make sure that you go and see, hey, if this is actually going to work for you, or you feel like, hey, you know what, I might look into this. If you have it in a certain account, open up another account where you could trade off of the fluctuations, because I know you can't do it in the same account that you have shares in, so you're going to need something else to work with. And this is why I say, hey, you have your investment account and then you also have your trading account. So these are some options that you could also look into and take advantage of those fluctuations, especially when I make these videos like this, so you can be prepared. Of course, SNDL does continue to have short squeeze potential. That is of no surprise, but also what we can see, institutions have been purchasing some shares as well. Nothing in big amounts, but again, we're already aware of that, especially when we take a look at the order flows, not seeing a lot of large scale orders and not even seeing large scale orders at all as far as for the inflow. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.